Hi! Cycle Speedway is not tremendously well known, you know, but it is still a thriving sport, and with a dedicated band of participants and followers, it's come a long way. You see, Cycle Speedway started back in the 40s, when young men carved tracks out of any available bomb site to emulate their speedway heroes. In 1950, the first national championships were held, and since then the sport has matured, with recognition and help from the Sports Council, as well as development in other countries, including Australia. Nowadays, clubs all over Britain compete under one organising body, the Cycle Speedway Council. And although the speedway connection is still there, the riders are more likely to be compared with other cycle sports, and they reckon that this is the most exciting of all. And what's more, they're not the only ones to think so. Dave Lanning was a former Cycle Speedway rider. Now he's better known as television's top commentator on speedway and darts. Dave was reunited with Cycle Speedway when he was asked to provide commentary for Anglia TV's coverage of the World Masters final.
In the days when I knew Cycle Speedway originally, you made mistakes and that made it exciting. Nowadays the guys don't make mistakes, but they force their way through. They come from the back a great deal more than we used to in our day. And I found that very exciting and advanced, and I would agree that Cycle Speedway certainly has come on in leaps and bounds, and it's quite a spectacle now.
But this is where the story really starts, at a come and try it session for new riders on their local track. Sessions like this are organised by most clubs and they're completely free. Here at Poole in Dorset, the regular members loan bikes and all the safety gear that goes with them to the new intake of riders. Once aboard, there's as much tuition as you can take in.
We always start these sessions by explaining the basics. And that means telling the riders that there's 4 riders in a race and they do 4 laps of the circuit. Obviously a session like this we don't get them to do that. We practice 1 or 2 laps at a time and get them used to the corners and to the strange machinery they're using.
Probably the most outstanding difference between Cycle Speedway and other cycle sports is the bike itself, and that's the very next thing that needs to be explained.
This is a Cycle Speedway bike, and there are a couple of differences between this and normal bikes, and one of the main differences is there's no brakes. That's purely for safety, so that you don't pull up too quickly with riders behind, and also so that the brake levers don't hurt you when you fall off. Hopefully you won't do that. The other difference is that there's just the one gear. It's a very low gear for better starting. You'll see that there's knobbly tyres as opposed to normal smooth tyres, and you'll see that there's straight forks to make the bike a little bit shorter and better for cornering, and also you can see that there's special grip on the small pedals, and this is all done for added grip and also for better starting.
This G, keep pedalling. That's it. Now start again, that's it.
We get a lot of youngsters along to these sessions, both boys and girls, and we can cater for a lot of different ages and abilities. It's one of the few sports in which you can be part of a team but also take part as an individual, and that's one of the main attractions with the sport. And if the riders like what they do, then they can come along and be part of a team at a later stage.
Well, it's really fun. I'm definitely going to do it when the season starts again next year. I'm really going to do it again. It's not scary at all.
It's riders like these that are the future stars of Cycle Speedway. Here at Poole, the club has developed many a young talent and, as a result, has brought a plentiful supply of trophies back to the clubhouse. Some riders go on to be individual stars, and even at an early stage of their career, they can become British champions in their age group. Chris Roberts is one such rider. He collected the British Under-15 title when he had just turned 14 years old.
I suppose the thing I enjoy about Cycle Speedway is the big competitions, and luckily I've had a lot of success with these. By having this success, I've been able to travel all around the country.
Personally, I'm delighted Christopher's involved in the sport. It's given me immense pride and satisfaction. With all the activities involved around today, seeing Chris compete in a sport, a club sport especially, is, to my mind, keeping him away from trouble.
So now that he has established himself, what lies in store for the likes of Chris in the future?
The sport is structured in such a way that after entering the sport in under 12 and under 15 categories, the riders can move on into other age groups, under 18, under 21, and then up to senior level. And the hope is that they can compete in national finals, both as part of his team and also in individual competitions.
Young riders can take a pride in reaching these finals, but cycle speedway isn't just a sport for young riders. On the contrary, in the senior competitions, riders can often be in their 30s or even 40s, and indeed, many of the sports administrators were established former riders.
I've been involved with cycle speedway since 1959, from when racing was quite basic. You rode on a track that only had really bricks round it and pull across tapes, to nowadays where there's centre of excellences and tracks like today which are top class. That's one of the reasons why I've stayed in cycle speedway for such a long time.
I've been involved almost 30 years now, and over the years I've derived a great deal of pleasure for it, and I would like to see young kids coming into the sport who can have the same sort of pleasure over the years that I've had for it.
So, what is it that keeps the more mature riders racing week after week?
Winning, competition, winning. At the end of the day, the feeling of winning, the team winning is fantastic.
As you can imagine, the top riders involved in the sport, there's no shortage of competitions for them to ride in, from clubs that hold prestigious individuals to national competitions to representing the country.
As cycle speedway is very much a team sport, naturally the greatest honour is to win the British Team Championship at any level. In the senior event, the riders have been competing for many years, and it's definitely the highlight in their racing career. I've been lucky enough to have been involved in winning the British Team Championship with my club, and I can honestly say there's no feeling quite like winning that championship.
If you're a success in cycle speedway, there's always a loyal band of supporters who'll cheer you on. Some clubs have quite a large following of spectators. After all, it's certainly exciting to watch, and these fellows really know how to put on a show. But they also believe that there's still plenty of potential left yet.
The potentials are enormous, especially with today's media, with Sky and satellite and cable television and all the rest of it. When you see some of the programmes that they transmit just to fill in time, I'm sure the cycle speedway could more than hold its own in these circumstances. So the sky is the limit, basically.
That's absolutely true. I think that with any kind of good televisual sport, there are three main rules. You must be able to see what's going on, you must be able to know what's going on, and you must do it quickly. And cycle speedway has all these attributes. It's fast, it's interesting, it's exciting, it's healthy for the kids, it's clean, and there's no reason at all why, properly packaged, that cycle speedway couldn't become a regular part of Sky Sports schedules.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed seeing a little of what cycle speedway is. Above all, it is great fun. It is well organised, and competitions are just right for everyone to take part. It is great fun to watch too. If you'd like to know more, then go along to your local club where you can watch the racing for free, and maybe you'll go along to a come and try it session like they did. You can make contact with the people showing this video today, or you can contact the Cycle Speedway Council direct at this address: the Cycle Speedway Council, 57 Rectory Lane, Poringland, Norwich, Norfolk, NR14 7SW. Or you can ring them 24 hours a day on 01 508 493 880. That's 01 508 493 880. Either way, don't miss out. Come and try it.